Welcome to Lightworkers Unite, a sacred space for seekers, healers, creatives, and lightworkers.
We're your hosts, Mayume and Manjeet, and we're here to remind you who you truly are, light in human form.
Together, we explore spirituality, healing, intuition, purpose, and the magic of being alive in this extraordinary time. So take a deep breath, open your heart,
and let's walk this journey together. Hello, welcome everybody. Hi, Manjeet.
Hello, Mayume. Welcome to Lightworkers Unite.
We're so excited to have you. Thank you, listeners, for joining us today. What do we got going on today, Manj?
Well, we were thinking, everybody has Oracle cards, right? I mean, and if you don't, then you need to buy our
get ours. Yeah. I'm pretty certain the lightworkers that are listening, you probably have a deck that you work with. Well, if not, then get one and get the Lightworkers Oracle. That would be great. Yes. But we're gonna work with them today. We figured.
Yeah,
it's different than what we normally do.
No, and I think because right, Mayume, a lot of our clients, a lot of the people that listen to us, they play, we say play, but work with the Oracle cards. They're set to whatever set you have. And we just thought we get a lot of questions about this as well, don't we? About how to use the cards or any kind of Oracle cards as a part of your daily practice, right? How can we use the cards to facilitate guidance for the day? And so we're going to do that today. We're going to model what that looks like from when you get up to holding your deck of cards and then pulling a card. And then Mayume and I will kind of give a little bit of an interpretation of the card that we pull, maybe through the lens of what's going on in our life. Yeah.
Of what that card means and see what spirit says, because we always want to tap in and connect with spirit when we're in this space. And that's what you would be doing also with your Oracle cards, everyone, is that you would be getting guidance from spirit, whether that's your guides, your angels, loved ones. And so knowing when we pull a card that it is coming from source. The source is saying, hey, I have a message for you and it's in this deck and I'm going to give you the card. So I think that's why we're going to have fun playing with it to see what our guides want us to do with our show today. That's what I think.
Yeah. And I think it might be a really interesting, a good time to mention too, depending on the Oracle deck, it will also facilitate what kind of spirit wants to come through. So if you're using an Oracle deck that is like deep in the forest, for example, you might get a lot of forest energy, a lot of tree energy, a lot of fairy energy, right?
In nature.
So just, all the nature sprites and all the things that are coming through. So the decks that you use are kind of important in that, I mean, if I use a goddess deck a lot. So of course
I use an angel deck a lot. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So we're bringing in that whatever is kind of being finely tuned by the Oracle deck that you're using, right?
Yeah.
So if you really want to connect with angels, you're going to pick your angel deck. If you want to pick, that's why Mayume and I have about, I don't know, a bazillion Oracle decks.
Yeah. Maybe a gazillion. Yeah. It's something ridiculous. I even have some behind me right here. You don't even know. I didn't even put them all out. It's why I don't know, but I'm drawn to each and every one of them. It's super fun.
Yeah. And it does, right? It sometimes when we're doing a reading for other people, or sometimes if I'm in a coaching call and I'm feeling really inspired, I'll be like, wow, I'm really feeling this particular deck. So just pay attention to, first of all, the kind of deck that you're going to be using in the morning. So if that means maybe stop and breathe, kind of check in with your heart and just, maybe even saying, okay, spirit, guides, angels, God, goddesses, whatever it is that it wants to come forward. What deck should I use today? Right?
Yeah,
and then go
that's what I do. Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Which one you're drawn to, because source, under the umbrella of source, meaning guides and spirit and loved ones, I do sometimes set the intention. I may be reaching for a certain deck because I feel compelled for that deck, because I know whether it is a loved one, an angel, or a guide says that's the deck that I have the exact wording that I need you to read, right? So they kind of guide you there. And there's been plenty of times where I'll say, hey, Dad, I just want to hear from you. You got a message for me today?
Yeah.
And then I'll feel the deck. And it could be an oracle. It could be a nature. It could be angels. It just depends on what I'm drawn to, that he knows that there's wording or a message in that particular deck. So I always trust it.
I love that. Yeah. And so that's our invitation for all of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
To really just tap in, take a few minutes beforehand and just kind of tap into what is it? Which deck? Sometimes I'll even put my hand over my, my,
Yes.
my
Yeah, the
little,
hovering and just like,
yeah.
yeah,
And I'll be like,
yeah,
whoa, what's this one? And I'll grab it. And then, that's the deck that has just the right answer or the
yes,
questions, answers to the questions that I'm looking for in that moment.
that's
So,
right.
have fun with that, trusting in spirit, right? And also this works really well for purchasing a deck,
Yep,
right?
that's what I say. Yeah, and even online, guys. If you go on Amazon, you know how many times I'm scrolling and I'm just looking and feeling it. So open yourself up and just like Manjeet said, just trust it. Just
Yeah,
trust
it's
me.
all
Don't
energy.
question it. Yeah, don't second guess and be like, oh, did I do that? Or just listen to your intuition because it is being guided. It
Yes,
really is. Yeah.
it is.
Okay.
And if you are in a store and you pick up a deck, I don't know if many of you have done this. Yeah, I'm sure. You pick up an oracle deck and you're like, oh, it feels really gross or sticky. It feels
Yeah.
weird. What you might actually be experiencing is somebody else's energy on the card.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the very next thing that you're going to do is kind of clear the cards because even if they're your deck of cards, right, you may still have remnants of the last reading in your cards. Remember, energy
Agreed.
never dies. It
Agreed.
just changes form. And so, how do you clear your cards before you use them, ma'am?
It kind of depends,
Yeah.
honestly, like what I'm feeling. Most of the times, especially in group readings, I'll do this in between participants. I'll
Mm-hmm.
take the deck and I'll have them tap, 2 to 3 times. So 1, 2, 3, with
Yeah.
the intention as they tap and knock on the cards, it disperses energy. I even do that to books that I want to
Yes.
read. I tap, knock the energy out of the book. So you can do that. There's other ways that using sage or even fire, like heat and smoke. So, and then after I feel like it's been cleared, then I get my juju all over it. So I usually hold it up to my heart. Yeah. What do
Oh,
you do?
I love that. I don't know. I use that like fire. I kind of just run it
Yeah,
over the
like
fire
that.
like this a
Yes.
lot. And just
Mm-hmm.
kind of like give it a little bit of I think a good rule of thumb is the elements, right? You
Yes.
can use fire. Obviously, don't burn them.
Yeah. Don't
You
burn
know,
them, please. Don't hover it
uh,
too long,
yeah,
people.
yeah. And a water would be like a spray, right? So you
Yep.
could use a
Mm-hmm.
spray instead of dousing them, obviously, in water. That's not going to fucking
Mm-hmm.
work.
Yeah.
Um, but smoke energy, so air. That's like
Air. Yep.
incense. Yeah,
Yep. I love
and
running it over a good sage or even Palo
yeah.
Santo because that's
Hmm.
creativity.
Yeah,
So
I
I
love
love
that.
that. Mm-hmm.
And I love, yeah, like a good sage. That's clearing
Real
really
quick.
quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, earth. Like a lot of times, I'll have my card sitting on top of a little
Yes,
selenite or some
gemstones.
kind of gemstone. Yeah. So using earth elements. So, like, really, honestly, sweet light workers, there's no wrong way,
There
right?
is no, there's so many ways.
Just tap in and trust, right?
Hmm.
That your messages that are going to come through clean. Because really, right? We want a clear message through spirit, but we also want a clear message through the vessel,
That's right.
And so I think that's a really important thing that we wanted to talk about just before we picked one, right?
Yeah, let's do it. You
Yeah.
guys, we're going to
Okay.
do this live with you all. We don't even know what this podcast is going to be about. So,
And
okay.
we wanted some divine intervention. We wanted
Yeah, yeah,
a little bit of
yeah,
like, ooh, let's do something a little magicy, a little witchy
yeah.
today. Yeah.
Mysterious. I agree.
And so I'm gonna pick a card from our beautiful
All
Lightworker
right.
deck. They've been
Yeah.
cleared, and I'm just gonna do a little invocation here, and just say, spirit guides, loved ones, goddesses, future self, any deity or energy that wants to come forward to give us the messages that we need to hear today.
Angels too.
Yes, of
Mhm.
course. Wow, it's funny. It's number 19. It's from the Shadow series. It's
Oh my
clearing.
gosh.
Isn't that
Oh
funny?
my gosh. Of course. Clearing. Hello.
Wow.
19. Can I read it? It is time
Yes.
to declutter your internal and external spaces.
Ooh,
All right,
wow.
everybody. Yeah, well, I
What's
mean,
coming up for you, ma'am, with
oh
this?
gosh. Well, of course, I'm like, that's not necessarily so fun. When I think of like decluttering sounds like chores and work, but I know that it's not. So that's really interesting for me. Both come up, your space, whether it's your altar, whether it's where you work, making sure that you are in sacred space. That's important for me, especially when doing readings, that my space is feeling like the objects that I have are intentional. My space is not cluttered, or if it is, it's got the items that I need, that I feel drawn to. But there's a lot of internal stuff that's coming up for me right now. I feel like sometimes our minds get cluttered. Sometimes, or at least I can speak for myself, my mind, I'll have a bandwidth where I've hit capacity and I can't add another thought to it, where I need to write everything down with my little check boxes, and I need to start to dump and clear all the things that are piling up in my mind, and so that I can be a clear vessel, for my work, but just for myself. So every time I pull that card, I get two hits with it, and I'm curious to see what you get, man. But every time I pull that card, there's a part of me that rolls my eyes, like, I get it. Okay, I need to declutter. But then I always think, oh, it's my mind, it's my energy. So when I just got back from Croatia, and we were just talking about this before we got on. And there was a part of me that felt like I guess it's kind of a clearing. I didn't want to connect. This sounds terrible. Sorry, Spirit. I was intentional about, like, I'm not going to connect while I'm traveling. I am going to be present. I'm going to be so human. I'm going to be with my girlfriends. So I went with, 4 other besties. And I really was intentional about being human, meaning,
Love it.
and I do connect with spirit every day, whether it's a meditation or even just a prayer blessing or even closing at night. And I didn't. And I kind of told spirit, like, hey, this is the deal. I'm going to be human for a couple weeks. So that, to me, when I got back, Manjeet, I felt like I decluttered myself.
Wow.
Weird. So that's
Yeah.
so interesting that card's coming up, because I feel like I did kind of clear something. It was like a reset for me. And
Yeah.
I think vacations do that for us, right? Or we talk about it.
Absolutely.
Let's go, reset, recharge, all that.
Retreat. Yeah.
Retreat. Yeah. And
Mhm.
so I was
Love it.
purposefully not energetically, spiritually connecting. And then I did have a little guilt about that. Like, is this okay? That I do this. But I was like, no, I'm here. I'm human, and I need to be human. And I wanted to see what it felt like. And it felt freeing, a little bit freeing. And I felt like I came back clearer.
Oh my gosh.
I
I
don't even know.
love that.
So the fact that that card, and we just talked about, well, maybe it'll come up, but I felt like I kind of cleared myself, and it was like a reset. So when I came back, re-entry, you guys can be a bitch. Okay. So not
Uh-huh.
just jet lag, but like, oh, I gotta do laundry. And then
You have to
eh,
clear
I
things.
had to
Yeah.
clear
Clean
things,
things.
right?
Yeah.
The suitcase and unpack.
Mhm.
And then I was like, wait, I have to reconnect with my guides and angels. I hope they all show up, because it's been a while.
I love
That's what I
that.
felt
Yeah.
like. I was like, oh gosh, but it was all
Isn't
good.
that
So just
crazy?
so you know, everyone, you can do that, and you'll still connect,
Yeah,
right?
it's still, and I love that because I mean, when we created this card together, we put it in the shadow series section very deliberately because
Hmm.
you did have a visceral reaction to that word, to clearing. I mean, you were like, that to
Or
me means fucking
clutter.
cleaning. I don't
Yeah,
like it. I don't
I love the
want
word
that.
clearing, but but clutter to me is like
Declutter.
isn't it a dense
Yeah,
word?
it's work. Yeah, no, it
Yeah.
was so funny. And so we were, I remember we created this and it was like, really being conscious of the fact that when we're saying clearing, we are actually using it in
Yeah.
two different dimensional spaces. One is very physical. When we
Mm.
live in a cluttered space, like you were saying earlier, we are really cluttering our energy,
Hmm.
right? So maybe this card, right, taking a moment for folks who are listening to this episode to say, what physical spaces in my world want to be cleared so that
Hmm.
I can
Hmm.
reclaim my energy. Stuck energy, right? It creates its own vortex of energy. And we see this a lot in our
Yes.
house clearings,
Yes.
right?
Ooh.
So
Should we? Yeah, hello. I
that's
didn't
what
even
this
think
felt
about the
like to
clarity.
me.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yes.
know? I felt
Let's
like
talk
because we
about
go
that.
into these homes and do house clearings.
Yes.
And so if you're interested, call 1-800 lightworkersunite I did a website and a phone number at the same time.
At the same time, yeah.
No, but you
Oh my
can
God.
actually reach us and schedule one. But it is really one
Absolutely.
of our favorite things to do.
It
And
is.
it has a lot to do with this card, I think, that and
Mhm.
our house clearings are off the roof right now. We can't, we're scheduling so many of them.
I know it's kinda crazy. How are we even doing this along with
I don't even
everything
know with
else?
our
I
busy
don't even know.
schedules. Yeah. But the
How?
whole concept of like one of the big things that we do before we even go in is talk to our clients and say, are there places in your home that are really cluttered because that creates kind of its own vortex of not necessarily negative energy, but
Right.
very much stuck energy.
Yeah.
Right. And that
Especially if
stuck
you have a
energy.
space. Keep going. Sorry, say that again.
Yeah, even if
That's
it's,
like
I was just saying that stuck energy it can be very, very dense. It can feel
yes.
very heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it
And do you
can
ever
give that
find like that
impression.
you
Yeah.
have one space that you can clear it and everything's in its place and then
Oh,
all of a sudden it accumulates again, right? The one
yes.
that's on the counter that's next to the
Yep.
phone that has bills and paperwork. It just feels like that's where the mail gets dumped and
Yeah.
accumulates and
And you're like,
stuff.
oh,
And
that junk drawer. I can't get that fucking junk drawer like
yeah,
taken care of.
right. Yeah.
There's a reason for that too, right? There's a reason. And my theory is it is actually like a little portal. It's like collecting the
Yeah.
clutter from the areas around and trying to make it consolidated.
Hmm.
Because that clutter has its own energy. And so that
Yeah.
clearing, right? I love that. It doesn't mean necessarily housekeeping and cleaning, but it
Right.
may.
Yeah, but it may.
It may. So for me, that's the very first thing so I wanted to, that really made a lot of sense to me, like that physical spaces. And I went right to one of the homes that we were clearing. But I loved what you were saying too about the internal spaces and how you connected clearing with kind of like filling your cup, right? Like to me, that's self care. And if
Hmm.
you look in the very middle, there's a beautiful vessel. It's a cup
Yeah.
in the
It's
middle
like,
of our
yeah, looks like a
card.
little gold chalice sort of, or
Yeah.
like, yeah, a little gold cup. Hmm.
Yeah. And so through the lens of what you were saying, I just thought that was so interesting. Like I never really quite noticed that. Like I know we made the cards.
Yeah.
We designed them. Okay, I know that. But it just shocks me every time, we dive into them. And that's the beauty of oracle cards, isn't it?
Hmm.
That what you're seeing is like you getting away and clearing yourself is a really precious form of self-care. So you
Hmm.
could fill your cup, right? So you can
Yeah.
feel anew. And I
Yeah.
love that, in our card, it is actually an empty cup. It's waiting for you
I
to
know.
say, fill me. I'm
Hmm.
ready. I'm ready to be my full, authentic self. Yeah.
Yes. And we can't do that if we're bogged down, if we have a
Yeah.
cluttered mind.
Yes.
And then we are just in a vicious cycle of trying to catch up, right? That's that overwhelm, that's that feeling of drowning. I can't breathe. And so taking that time for yourself to mind dump, right? Whether it's a list, whether it's an audio recording of all the things you want to do, just some form of way to release it energetically from from your mind,
Mm.
because the mind can get very cluttered very easily.
Oh, so much, especially when you're busy and you're light working. I mean,
Yeah.
you're doing all the things, right? We're doing really mortal things, like you were saying, very human things.
Hmm.
But also, we are working in the light. We want to raise the vibration of ourselves first in order to raise the vibration of the people around us. We
That's
cannot
right.
create the ripple, right, if we're not clear.
Yeah.
Um, I think the other thing for me, like that just came, it's so funny, I just love that's the beauty of these cards, right? Of any oracle card, any deck, is when you take the time to really look at the card, look at the images, right?
Yes. Hmm.
Take a moment and look at the
Like scan
wording.
it, like allow your eyes to scan it
Yes.
and see where you land,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
See, I just saw a sword in there or like a knife
Yeah.
or, yeah,
I
right.
know, right there. Yes, the
Oh, I love
selenite
that.
sword. I know.
Yeah, that's
It's
right behind me, which I
it might
use
be
for
time to use that
well,
on you.
that's so funny, I did when I got back.
That's amazing.
So when you just did that, I was like, "Do I need to find my card?" But
Mm,
when you did that, I'm like,
mm.
"I just saw the sword, and I took that selenite sword,
Scan
and I
it.
cleared my body with it." Can I show
I
you?
love that.
I'm
Yeah,
trying
let's
to
see
it's
it.
right
I
here.
love that.
if you guys want to see. For
Wow,
those
it's
that are on
beautiful.
YouTube watching our show, it's so beautiful,
It's
magical.
beautiful, clearing
Yeah.
energy. And I'm telling
So I
you
was just like,
firsthand, that shit's powerful.
yes, it
I
is.
can attest to that. So if
Yeah.
you get a little
Yeah.
selenite
We can put it right
wanding,
here between your boobies. It's really good right here.
yes, I love.
Just like, let me see. But yeah, the back, I find like
Oh,
the
love it.
top of the head and the back of the neck is where the
Mm.
sword wants to go. So anyway, it's a good
Well,
place
and
for
I know for
clearing.
me, that's like there's a little seam that's right down my spine that I always have to really
Yes.
fortify. That's the one space I can pretty powerful all around. But I know as soon as I get to that little spine area, all the way down the back, yeah, there's like a little line where I'm always like, oh, I need to be really mindful of that little space. Yeah,
Hmm. I was
I
going to
just
say something really weird, but I'm not going to.
yeah.
Sorry.
Well, why not? We've been doing it all fucking day. What
I was like,
the
yeah,
hell?
because you want to keep that zipper locked because someone is like
Yes,
unzip and you know what I
I
mean? It's
know.
like open you right up. There is, I
Yeah.
always think of that seam as like a zipper. And I always, and I'm sure it's from watching all ridiculous sci-fi shit that I love, where the back of the neck, from the
Oh
Matrix, where
God.
they put the right the
Oh
tube in the back.
God.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's where my sword always wants to clear because I'm sure there's a
Wow.
cord, right? Energetic cords that are in the back of the neck and the
My
back of
yeah,
at the bra line. We have all these energetic cords. So sometimes I have to
yeah.
clear that. Yeah,
Isn't that crazy? I
I
love
know.
that. So this is great. Like if that's some place where when you put up your boundaries or protection or maintain your
Hmm.
space or whatever you want to call it, that might be coming to light right now. Is am I really being mindful of that little beautiful little seam in the back there that maybe
Hmm.
wants some extra fortification with some selenite or maybe even just a little bit extra guidance? Maybe having Archangel Michael walk in that space. I know that's where I have one of my powerful guides walk is right behind me in
He's
that
always
space.
behind me.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's a reason for that, right?
Hmm.
The last thing I was going to say about the card for me was I know it's a 19, it's a number 19, which together means 10, right? Which is a one.
Hmm.
And so you were talking about, the internal spaces. So for me, it really does feel like a new beginning, right? Like 10 is a new beginning. It's like like a reboot. It's a time to really put your priorities in order, like
Hmm.
clearing all of the energy that no longer serves you, all of that energy that maybe is making you feel torn or pulled or pushed in some way that doesn't make you feel completely happy, right?
Yeah.
This card is calling you to say it is time and you are allowed to make decisions in your life that bring you into your power. You are
Yes,
actually in charge.
everybody. Yeah,
It's a
we
new
are.
beginning.
It's your soul journey. No one's in charge of your soul path. You are. So this
Yeah.
card, even though it is, and we tried to design it where we added certain items because to create kind of a cluttered look. But even when I look at it, I'm like, oh, it just feels like, yeah,
So beautiful
it's a
to
good
me.
card. And even though you may have a visceral reaction like I do, like, oh, okay, I get it. I
Well,
gotta
and
clear
it's
some
shadow
shit.
series.
It is.
So,
It
people
makes
immediately
you,
kind of go, "Oh, I don't know about the
oh,
shadow series."
I
But the
know.
shadow's great.
Of
The
course
shadow
it
series
is.
is one of our
Yes.
favorites
It is. Yeah.
because
It
it's
is one of our
bringing
favorites.
stuff to light, right? That really
Mhm.
wants like
Mhm.
deep. It's like whenever I get a shadow card for someone or someone pulls it, I always think, "Yeah, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. Like we're not
Yeah,
fucking around here."
that's where we
Like,
yeah, that's where the light needs to focus on. Yeah, it's been kind of hidden. We've been putting it in the
yeah,
back or well, oh, I'll deal
yeah,
with that later. So yeah, I sometimes bringing the shadow stuff to the forefront into the light so that we can really acknowledge it, look at it and work through it. So
yeah. I
I
love it.
yeah, so I guess I'm gonna go declutter some stuff after this. All
Yes, me
right, I get
too.
it.
And
Yes.
if you feel a big decision coming up, maybe there's a big decision that, a yes and a no, somewhere you need to say no in your life, somewhere you need to put some boundaries, somewhere you need to say yes to, right? This
Mhm.
is about clearing and opening yourself up to the beauty that is within because your guides are ready for you to step into that power.
Yeah, because we want
Yeah.
to be clear, everyone, right? In the way we feel light and
Yeah.
clear. There's nothing better when you feel light. We know what it feels like to be heavy or
Yeah.
dense with emotions, and we are human. So take some time, some moments to yourself for a quiet time, get in the sun, use the sun energy like you use the flame on the cards to cleanse
Yeah.
yourself, clear your mind and your body. I love that. So,
Yeah. Do you think that when we do actions like this, like a new beginning or saying no to something, or do you think that that can be sad? Can it be
oh,
hard? Can it
for
be
sure. Well, yeah, sometimes we hold on to something that's maybe not serving us, and but we know that if we were to let it go or change the frequency or change something about it, whether it's your perspective or the energy that you put into it, I think this card is saying it's time to clear something, to release, let go, so that you can be more open and letting pieces go. But of course, it can be sad,
right?
right? Or
Yeah. So I
yeah. Yeah, or
just wanted to acknowledge
uncomfortable.
that a little,
Yeah, we're
that,
feeling
yeah,
that.
this card, and maybe that's part of the shadow, right? The part of it is sometimes the clearing isn't just all rah, rah, hey, yay, I'm done, I'm free. It can
No,
come with, making some
discomfort.
decisions, yeah, that make you discomforted.
Yeah, that's
Uncomfortable.
I know. I said it brings discomfort, which makes you uncomfortable. Yeah, no, discomfortable.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, just comfortable. I know. Hello. Yeah. But
Yeah,
it just,
yeah.
I thought that was just I just got this hit like, wow, I mean,
Mm,
you're right. I mean, it is meant to be an empowering card, but it can also come with, some of that feeling of like, "Ooh, wow, this might be a little sad for me. This might feel a little heavy. This might feel, like an ending." Like,
yeah.
when
It
and
could
endings
be
can be
as
sad.
simple and as horrible as when someone passes and then you have to go
Yeah.
through their items, right? The closet, the
Yes.
bins. I mean, it was actually 20 years before we went through my father's bins because it was too hard. We didn't want
Wow.
to go through them. And so, but that was taking up space. It was
Wow.
clutter and it needed to be cleared and it needed to be let go of. Yeah.
Yeah, like free. Yeah,
Yeah.
like there was freedom for you there. Yeah,
Yeah.
and also for him in spirit, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a really
Interesting.
I just all of a sudden had this like feeling of like deep sadness with this card like, oh, like wow. That's over. Or
Because maybe
like
there's a light worker
yeah.
out there that would pull this card and immediately know you might touch on that feeling like, oh, I wonder if
Yeah.
this is because I need to clear my husband's things. Right.
Yeah.
And then there's resistance to that.
Yeah, or
So,
end this relationship or end this cycle or this friendship or something could be ending. And I just, because
hmm
the number 19 with the 10, it just
yeah,
like
new
all of a
beginning.
sudden was like highlighted. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Ooh, new beginnings. Like that's kind of like the Year of the Horse episode that we did.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm transported to that moment where I was like, wow, like, whoa, this is exciting, but ooh, I kind of feel a little sad, like a little hard,
Mm,
and that's okay because the benefits that you get from making those hard decisions or sometimes challenging, uncomfortable decisions are going to bring you to a better, more clear, more authentic, more free space, right?
yeah,
It really
I
will.
agree.
Yeah. Even though it was hard going through your father's things, I'm
I know it's
sure
about
it was
time. It just took a long
magical
time.
too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And John Corelli was like, excuse me, these bins are taking up space in the garage. So when are you people going to go through this?
Yeah.
So,
Get this clutter
I
out of
mean,
here.
he's not wrong. It's true. Because when you mentioned that, I was like, that was hard. And even though we kind of put it in the back, right? And that happens with many other things. So it might be an item. It could be your children's artwork that have been taking up space where you're like, oh, I
Yes.
need to take some photos and create a digital file, declutter some of that to remove the physical space that it
Yes.
takes up. hmm
Yeah, I love that. I love
Yeah.
that one too. So many amazing perspectives, right, on this
With this
beautiful card.
card. I
I
know.
know. And so, if any of these resonate with you, beautiful Lightworker soul, please take it and
Yep.
leave take what resonates, leave the rest. But just hopefully, this will give you some confidence, really, in creating a ritual for yourself with the Oracle cards for a personal reading or guidance, some direction. That's what they're there for, right?
That's
These
what they're
cards
there
are
for. And
there
not to be
for.
afraid of the shadow series.
Yes,
Right?
don't be afraid. They're really
Yeah.
nice. We love them.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are
That
really,
was
really
super fun.
powerful. Yeah.
Yeah. It's great.
I
I love
love
that.
that.
All
Well,
right.
thank
Well,
you, my
we
sister.
just did that. We just pulled the card
Well,
and winged it. Holy shit. Good job.
that's how we
Yeah.
roll.
That's how
Okay.
we
Yeah.
Lightworkers love
And
it.
that's how we, cleared this episode for the next one to be born.
That's right. On to the next one. Yes.
On to the next one. Yes.
Oh my
We love
gosh.
you, light
We
workers.
love you
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Please leave a comment. Let us know
Yep.
if any of this served you. We should just kind of end maybe with, how do you close your cards, or do you just put them back in the container, Meme? Do you when
Um,
you
I
are
always
putting them
think
away?
them. I think them
Yeah,
because
there you
I
go.
don't clear them, but I always think them because I
Oh,
know,
I
but
love
I'll
that.
clear them the next time I use them. But I do a big
Beautiful.
thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And I will do some gratitude, but I do often will just run them through the flame. So they're kind of like I don't know, I always call it like a mini clean. Like it's just but it doesn't always work. So that's why the next time I see them, I
Make
will
sure.
always do
Yeah.
another clearing. Yeah. So if you want to
Yeah.
clear them before you put them away, that also works
Huh.
too. Or sometimes I'll have them sit all night on selenite,
Yeah.
just to let that do its magic, or in the windowsill under the moonlight. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so
Moonlight
many.
is a great
Right.
recharger and clearing. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these cards love the moonlight
I
for me,
know.
by the
Yeah.
way. I
See,
mean,
and they
I
love
the
sun for me, but
oh, makes sense.
yes.
You're an Aries.
And
I am
you're
the little
yes.
Cancer moon.
Oh my God. It does make sense. That's so
That was
crazy.
crazy.
That's funny.
I love that. And I love you.
Oh,
Thank you,
love
my
you too.
darling.
So
All right.
fun. Thank you, listeners. And please rate, review, subscribe. We
Yeah.
would love more listeners listening in and share this with someone, especially if you think that they would need the clutter card, a little
Yeah. Or want
clearing.
to learn a little about how to use them. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
All
On
right.
to the
We
next
love
one. All
you.
right. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us. All our
All right.
love. All right.
Namaste.
Namaste. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for sharing this sacred space with us on Lightworkers Unite.
Remember, your light matters, your presence matters, and your journey is unfolding exactly as it should.
If today's episode stirred something in your heart, trust that it was meant for you.
From our hearts to yours,
May your path be lit,
your spirit strong, and your light be seen.
This podcast is for educational and inspirational purposes only.
The content shared is not intended to replace professional, medical, psychological, legal, or financial advice.
Always seek the guidance of qualified professionals regarding your personal situation.
Thank you.